Okay, and moving along here to the last but not the least series, we have the Edmonton Oilers versus the Anaheim Ducks. I think we should probably start with the Oilers here. Of course, they have been to the Stanley Cup final last 2 years in a row, and here they are in the first round. They're definitely hoping to get out and have another chance to get back to the final. So what do we think are the keys to success for the Edmonton Oilers?
Well, it all starts with Connor McDavid. We know that. He won the Art Ross. But what about Leon Draisaitl?
Yes, that's the big question. A lot of mystery surrounding the status of Leon Draisaitl. I would be shocked if he wasn't out there. The question is, how much will he have? Will he be playing at 60%, 70%? We know he's a gamer. We've seen him play on one leg before, but they're going to need him at full strength if they want to make another deep run this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I look at this team and they are going to need some consistent goaltending or maybe not even super consistent, just like okay goaltending. And I think there's a big question whether or not they're going to get that.
Can Connor Ingram deliver?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to have to be Ingram because their big acquisition, Tristan Jarry, has not been the answer. I'm not saying we won't see him in this series because, well, it's the Oilers and you never know what's going to happen with the goaltending. But somebody's going to have to give some semblance of NHL goaltending. Otherwise, there could be a quick exit in Edmonton.
And on defense, I would say Evan Bouchard deserves a Norris Trophy nomination.
I think you are insane. Just off the top of my head, I can name 5 or 6 guys. He is an offensive force, don't get me wrong. And on this team,
92 points, Mark.
He plays with some of the best players in the world and the weakest division in hockey. So I think that a defenseman has responsibilities in his own end as well, and that's where Evan Bouchard leaves you wanting more.
Yeah, but they do have Matthias Ekholm. He is one of the most defensively responsible defensemen in the NHL. So he can sort of counterbalance that. They're going to need him to play his A game because, yeah, Evan Bouchard does have his deficiencies on the defensive end of things.
Yeah, and I do like the fact they brought in Connor Murphy. That's another defensive stopper who's going to help solidify things on the back end. But it's the forward depth that really gives me pause.
Now, hopefully, Zach Hyman will be healthy. But beyond him, who might step up?
Yeah, Hyman did get into the last game in the regular season, so that was big for the Oilers. But I think that beyond that, again, these are where the questions start popping up. Matt Savoy did play better in the second half after a very disappointing start to the season, but he's kind of a smaller player. I'm not sure how effective he'll be in the playoffs.
And John, what about Podkolzin and Roslovic?
Yeah, I mean, these are two okay players. I mean, Roslovic cracked 20 goals, so decent season for him. Podkolzin is a guy we've seen perform well at certain times, so they're going to need them. I don't know if you can rely on them too much.
I like Podkolzin's physicality. He was actually quite good for them in the playoffs last year. I think that he'll actually be a pretty key contributor for them.
And how about the Anaheim Ducks? What are the keys for them to win this series?
Yeah, they have to get back to the hockey that they were playing a few months ago because they have been lame.
Yeah, they do have a lot of young players. I love Cutter Gauthier, 40 goals. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's been one of their most consistent players. But, you look at a guy like Beckett Seneca, who was looking like a Rookie of the Year candidate for a while. He really hit the rookie wall. They're going to need him to refine his form.
60 points, not too bad.
Oh, great year. But again, if you look at the splits, it's been pretty rough recently.
And Leo Carlson.
Yeah, another young player, very young player. Had himself a great year. I mean, ended up with 66 points, almost broke 30 goals. So good year. But, I think that all of these young players, they're going to have to find another gear. They're going to the playoffs. They're facing a tough opponent. And, if they want to have any success at all, they're going to have to bring it.
And what about the veterans?
That's the thing. There are some veterans that they can lean on. You look at a guy like John Carlson, who they brought in at the deadline. This is a guy with Stanley Cup experience. He's going to solidify the blue line. You look at a guy like Chris Kreider. He's also went deep in the playoffs before, plays that kind of playoff-style physical hockey. Mikael Granlund's got some experience as well. Good, solid player. I still like the ingredients. I just don't know what's going on in that locker room. Can Joel Quenneville help them find their form again before it's too late?
He's a heck of a coach. They still have Troy Terry, Alex Killorn. But, John, do you think Mason McTavish can recover his form?
I'm not really sure what's up with him. I mean, this is a guy we thought was captain material, would be one of these playoff performers, one of these guys who would step up in those big games. But, this season, he certainly hasn't looked like that. Maybe he can find something, but he's going to need to.
They do have Radko Gudas back there. He's a punishing hitter.
Yeah, he is a nasty piece of business, definitely built for playoff hockey. And you know what? The goaltending, which was good at the start of the year, is going to have to pick it up because Lucas Dostal, I'm not sure what happened to him, but he has had trouble going down the stretch here. And we know he has the talent. He looked great at the start of the year, but he's going to have to pull it together because a young team can unravel pretty quickly in front of shaky goaltending.
All right, guys, let's get our picks in. I'm going to say Oilers in, 6.
Yeah, despite some of the injury concerns in Edmonton and, some of the other question marks with the goaltending and defense, too much high-end talent, this team is going to advance pretty easily, I think, in 5.
Yeah, I really like Edmonton for this series, too. A lot of playoff experience. Connor McDavid is an absolute beast. He's not going to go out in the first round this year. Edmonton in 5.